Italian Football Podcast.
Serie A. Let's move to the Serie A match day 4 this weekend. We'll go through all the fixtures, but we're going to start off firstly with the big game, which is the Rome derby, the Derby della Capitale between Lazio and Roma on Sunday. It's the early kickoff, 12:30 CET at the Stadio Olimpico. So let's talk first of all. We'll go through the team news. I'll run through the team news and the probable 11s first. So for Lazio, doubts over Castellanos, Rovella, who both picked up injuries in match day 3. So we have to see how they recover in the coming days. We're recording this on Thursday. Lazzari, Patrick, and Vecino. We have to see if they're fit enough to start after recovering from their injuries. And as for Roma, we know that Leon Bailey is still out. He'll be back probably next match day 5. And Dybala is out. He got injured and came off at half time in the defeat at the weekend to Torino. And he probably is going to miss at least a couple of match days in Serie A. So those two are out. As for probable 11s, so Lazio 4-3-3. We're looking at Provedel in goal, Maruzic, Gila, Romagnoli, and Nuno Tavares in defence. In midfield, it'll be Guendouzi, Dele Bashiru, and assuming Ravella's not fit, it'll probably be Cataldi. And then up front, Zaccagni will definitely be on the left. And then if Castellanos is not fit, it'll be Boulaye Dia. And then Cancellieri has been kind of winning the nod over Isaacson so far. So you'd probably expect Cancellieri, but there'll be a potential ballottaggio there as well. As for Roma, 3-4-2-1. Svila in goal. It'll be the usual back three of Hermoso, Mancini, and Ndika. Then in midfield, centre midfield, we're going to have Cristante and Kone, I think. And then at wing backs, probably Angelino, or left wing back. It seems like Wrench is the favourite at right wing back at the moment. We'll see. And then it will be Soulé for sure as one of the two behind the one. El Shaarawy seems to be the one that's been predicted to start alongside him, but obviously there are other options, Pizzilli, for example, and Baldanzi. And then up front, I would expect Ferguson to come back to the starting 11 for this game after he didn't play in the last game. And the form is Roma have 6 points from 3 games, that won their first 2, then they lost to Torino. And Lazio, difficult start to the season, lost to Como, then won, and then lost again at the weekend against, who did Lazio lose to? Who did Lazio lose to this past weekend?
Oh God.
They lost 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah, wasn't it no. No.
Sassuolo.
Yes,
Sassuolo. It was Sassuolo. Yeah. So, what do you mean? I think this is a hard game to call. This one.
I think it's very hard to call because of the very specific situations that these two teams are in. Gasperini ball is still not fully ingrained at Roma. We saw, they've still got some struggles to break teams down. In the final third, we saw that on the weekend against Torino. They are solid defensively for sure. And then you have on the opposite side, you have a Lazio that is just, it looks, there's not a lot of positivity and buzz around them. But at the same time, look, this is the derby, and this is an opportunity for Sarri and Lazio to breathe some much needed energy into this season and into this squad and into the atmosphere around Lazio. Look, if they win this derby, then that would be a huge scalp for them, not being able to sign up, not being able to do anything this summer. If they are able to win this match, they're able to take a famous win over their bitterest rivals. That would just breathe so much energy and air into their lungs, and it could send them on a little bit of a run in terms of positivity. So it's an opportunity more than anything. I think that's how Lazio should view it. For Roma, the same is true there. They're in the beginning of the Gasperini era. Maybe the buzz has fizzled out a little bit after that loss to Torino, but equally, it's an opportunity to do something interesting against your bitter rivals and get a scalp and get one over them early on in the season, and then ride the wave based on that. So I think it's one of those things when, from a mental point of view, going into this, I think both teams will look at this and be like, well, there's an opportunity here to do something, because we're not in our ideal state. We're not where we want to be for various different reasons, of course. But I hope to see fantastic tifos. I hope to see the Rome derby atmosphere. I think it's being played at noon. I think it's the early fixture.
Yeah.
They're doing that because of safety reasons.
12:30 Italian time.
Yeah, they're doing that. It's the classic Liverpool Manchester United that was always played at like early in the morning because people can get rat-assed or whatever. And
well, yeah, that's the reason. I was going to say that's the reason for the Liverpool Man United, because people just get pissed before they just
and start fighting. And that's kind of the reason they're doing the derby here as well. I mean, because of all the trouble that's been around the derby, they don't want to play them on evening games, so they want to play them early because Italians are notoriously slow in the morning. And so they were hoping that they don't get into fights. Oh dear. But yeah, that's where we are. So I mean, it's an interesting one. I remember Milan. I remember a Milan derby being played at that, and that was the 2-2 derby with Deulofeu, I think, scored, and Icardi scored his first derby goal. Candreva scored a goal. It was an exciting game.
And that was a banter era derby.
Yeah, it was a banter era derby, but it was a lunch match, as the Italians call it. I love when Italians pronounce English terms. It was a lunch match derby, and this is going to also be
you
a
just
lunch.
Sound like Bruno Pizzo every single time you
Sorry.
You sound like Bruno Pizzo when you say English words in an Italian accent. Schilacci.
Club.
Yeah. So yeah, no. I agree. I can't call this game. I mean, the odds reflect that. Lazio 9-5, Roma 13-8, draw 2-1. So it tells you that, well, Roma slight favourites, but very little in it at all. So it's hard. It's hard to call.
I think a draw is probably, like you said. I think that's probably the fair. Like that's
my prediction. I'm predicting a 1-1 draw. I can't really separate. But derbies are derbies, and they're impossible to predict. And often the team that's in form are the team that loses. In this case, neither are really in form, both coming off losses. So I think draw sounds like the
I think a 2-2 draw. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think I think there's goals in this, and I think both teams will fancy their chances. And I think Sule will score. I think Cristante will score.
Ooh.
And I expect Zaccagni to score twice for Lazio. Okay. So I think 2-2.
Interesting. I'm going to go for a Ferguson goal. Get his Roma account on. Yeah.
Open his account, as it were.
Okay, the rest of the Serie A fixtures. Lecce Cagliari on Friday night, which I'm sure is the game you're looking forward to the most.
Obviously, the highlight of the weekend. What are you on about?
Bologna, Genoa, Verona, Juventus, Udinese, Milan on Saturday. Then, of course, the Rome derby early on Sunday. Cremonese, Parma, Torino, Atalanta, Fiorentina, Como, Inter, Sassuolo. And then on Monday, Napoli against Pisa. So the other game I'm looking forward to this weekend is Udinese.
Obviously, Cremonese, Parma.
Obviously, but Udinese against Milan is I'm looking forward to, because Udinese started the season really well. They got 7 points, but Milan, I've been pretty impressed. I know they lost to Cremonese, but I just what I like from Milan is just taking football down to basic maths of how many chances you create and how many you concede in, and Milan have been pretty good in that respect so far. And if they continue doing that, I think they're going to keep on picking points up, especially with Modric playing the way that he is, which is just unbelievable. But Udinese showed against Inter when they beat them that they are going to give problems to, I think, to a lot of big teams. I think they've got two monsters in defence in Sule and Christensen, who are going to defend their box really well. And Udinese, I don't know, they just seem to pick up these new players. Keenan Davis looking like he's really coming on. So yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to that game. I want to see.
Me too. I think it's an interesting. It's going to be interesting to see, for the reasons you outlined, how Milan and Allegri take on Udinese. Udinese are a tricky side. I think Costa Runjaic has shown more than proven his worth in the Serie A, in the sense of being able to, tactically match these teams. It's a very interesting. It's a very interesting tie. That's a very, very tricky place to go. It's a trap game especially for the Milan teams. To go to Udine. So yeah, I agree with you there. I also have to, I'm sorry, like Cremonese Parma, Vadi Padi in Cremona, and Davide Nicola, and if they can win, like, I mean, it's, and stay at the top of the Serie A, like, come on, Cremonese Scudetto 26, let's go. And of course, Torino Atalanta, Ivan Juric against Baroni. Torino Juric coming back to his old stomping grounds. That's going to be a very interesting tactical battle as well. Fiorentina Como, I think, has the potential to be a very high scoring game.
A lot of goals, yeah.
Yeah, and so that'll be interesting. And then Napoli, Pisa, and Inter Sassuolo, Inter, against their eternal bogey team Sassuolo with Mimmo Berardi at the San Siro. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's going to be interesting. And Napoli should see off Pisa without much fuss. As we're recording this, they haven't played Manchester City yet, which I'm really looking forward to.
I am as well, yeah. And Pisa at home is a good fixture after you can have a really tough game against Man City, travelling to Manchester, coming back. That's the kind of where you say, yeah, the fixture list was good to us there. Do you know what I mean? Because you play Manchester City away, and then you go in, say they were to then go into a really tough game away from home. That's where you drop points. Or even, doesn't even necessarily have to be a tough team. It could be a team like Udinese away, or a team like, do you know what I mean? A Torino away. And you're thinking all of a sudden, you could drop points there. So, nearly knocked my light off. My light, which does nothing at all. Right. Yeah. So that's the fixtures. I just want to finish off on one note. Did you see Diego Simeone fighting the Liverpool fans? Oh, so good. So good. I love him. Oh, it was brilliant.
Cholo he's the shithousery that, like, he's such a, like,